How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SPY and Triple Q. They had quite the run today inside of the market. We have Jerome Powell come out and he was dovish, no hawkish Powell whatsoever. Everything that he was saying was positive. It was great news for the market and it reacted. Anyone who had puts on a day like today, I'm hoping that you were scalping because you did have those opportunities. But for the most part, we have to say that calls did win out. And if you weren't able to make some money on the day, make sure you join us inside of the private Discord. We crushed it on Triple Q and as well as some AMD calls. But what I'm going to be doing in this video is we're going to be taking a look at the charts for Triple Q and the SPY and seeing, hey, where could it potentially go? We had Facebook that came out releasing their earnings. You know what? It is actually Meta. The news wasn't that great. They ended up missing on all of their estimates, and we want to see what could the market look like potentially going into tomorrow. So I'll be covering some levels that you want to watch on the chart, and then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final recap. And if you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description, because you know over here I do value your time. So let's get into those videos right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SPY. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 401.04, being up 2.60%. On the low, it tested 394.05, and then on the high, testing 402.88. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 81.953 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 68.617 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and of course we saw some strength as well. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, what do we see here right away? We maintain price action above the 50 EMA. It is at 394.43, and of course we finally got that break above 400. So knowing that we broke above this level, I would love to see a continuation of the uptrend. And where would that next level be at? I'd want to see if we can get to 409.21. Many people are saying, hey, SPY can get up here to 412, but in my personal opinion, and to be conservative, and then also taking a look at this candle by itself, 409 seems to be the most achievable level as far as for this week. But if we decide to have a pullback going into tomorrow, I would love to see a higher low, most preferably if we can hold up around this 396 level. Of course, you'd want to see SPY holding 400. That would be the best case scenario, because then the likelihood of it going to 409 is very high. But we could have some profit taking, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. But if we have another break above 400, I'm looking for a strong move. If you don't get to 409, then I'm looking for a move between 403 to 404. And if we decide to have a red day, then I want to see support actually coming in right here at this 390 to 391 level. But in general, SPY is looking bullish. It's on a strong uptrend. Let's see if it can continue this going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the charts for Triple Q. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 306.81, being up 4.23%. On the low, it tested 298.46, and then on the high, testing 308.54. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 68.646 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 56.666 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and we also saw some strength as well. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, the first thing I want to bring to your attention, what a powerful day. So you can see that we use the 50 EMA as support. It is at 298.36, and we saw a low at 298.46, and we know already if we have that price action staying above that 50 EMA, we can look forward to a strong day like this, especially when we have some good news. So the level I want to see Triple Q get to for tomorrow is around 310. If we can get to 310 and we could break out above this level, then we could start seeing Triple Q making a potential move to 315 before I start seeing it making another leg down or having some sort of a pullback. Again, please add that to your notes. If we decide to pull back, since we did have a strong day overall, then I'm looking for support to kick in right here around 302. So if we have support coming in at 302, what does that give us? That gives us another higher low, and that will confirm confirm it for 3 trading days in a row, and then we want to see what would happen going into Friday. But for the most part, Triple Q is looking bullish, and as far as the resistance that we had on today, it wasn't surprising because it was resistance back on the 22nd as well. We just need to break through it and see what it does from there. So to give you guys my final recap for SPY and as well as for Triple Q, let's start off with SPY. Not only are we now trading above all of our major moving averages, as you saw on the day, we were able to look real comfortable and close right at $400. So going into tomorrow, if we end up having a pullback, I would love to see support holding at around 396 or 397. If we can open up at 400, then I want to see a next move up to see if we can get to the next level around 405 or 404. The best case scenario would be a move to 409. But again, I only see this if we see strength inside of the market. Another point that I want to bring up, like I was saying previously, Meta ended up releasing their earnings and it was disappointing. But again, we've been used to that already because big tech hasn't been coming out with great earnings as of late. And as far as for Triple Q, if you don't know already, it is mainly made up of tech stocks. And the one right at the top is Apple. Who has earnings inside of the after hours tomorrow? Apple and as well as Amazon. These are top holdings. So we want to see what's going to happen when they release it. Are they going to continue the trend of weak earnings and along with misses, or are they going to be able to have earnings beats? If they could have earnings beats, then I'm looking for the market to actually make a move up and you'll see momentum in Triple Q and as well as SPY. If they end up posting misses, then I could see the market wanting to pull back. It's also not a strange fact that as far as when we have the Fed meeting, the day after, we tend to have a sell-off. But I feel like they may pause on that, knowing that Amazon and Apple have earnings, and if they do decide to do a sell-off, it could come on the Friday or on the Monday. So watching those key levels that I talked about is very important. Again, for SPY, if it pulls back, we want to see it hold between 396 and 397. As far as for Triple Q, if it pulls back, I'd want to see some strength right at 302. If it could hold these levels, I would say that would be bullish. It would also be giving these ETFs a bullish look overall, since they would be forming higher lows in these scenarios. So even if they don't do higher highs, that is not a bad situation. But I do feel they will keep them range bound until we get those earnings in regards to Apple and as well as for Amazon. So please add that to your notes. And also Jerome Powell, I must say, he did save the day. He ended up sticking with 75 basis points, and this is exactly what the market expected. So that's part of the reasons why we had a strong run up, because many people are saying, why is it exciting that he's raising up interest rates? You have to understand, there was so much talk about 100 or 1% hike. So knowing that we did not get that, that is a good sign. And the fact that he was so dovish, he was also saying, hey, we have the GDP numbers that are coming out, but we can't solely rely on those numbers. So that is another thing to take into consideration. The market could react bullish to that. So that's why as far as tomorrow, even if those GDP numbers don't look good, I could see the market wanting to rally, considering what Jerome Powell was saying in his speech. But in my personal opinion, of course, we're going to have some turbulence. That is something that you have to get used to already. So look for the opportunities off of those levels. Make sure you're doing your charting, doing your technical analysis, and find out a strategy that works well for you. So overall, is the market going to crash or fall off a cliff? Let's see what Apple and Amazon gives us for earnings, and then we could do another update video from there. We'll be talking real soon.